Welcome in, guys. We have a new series tonight here on Warlord Gaming. We do have the Open Wheel Outlaws. They have gone through their first couple races of the season already. They've already had, I believe it was Lanier for week 1, and week 2 was Cedar Lake. We did have Matt Grimm winning that first inaugural race for these guys. And I believe he is in the field once again tonight. One of the only guys that has been here week in and week out scoring points. So it's great. Let's be able to see if Matt Grimm can extend his point lead. Currently he's up about 75 points. Looks like these guys are getting a pit party going, trying to get some time racing around each other. We do have a small field tonight, but great big action out of these 360 sprint cars here at Eldora. This is an open series class. If you guys want to be running it, join the Discord, hop on in here and run with some of the best sprint car drivers on the service. These guys are going to be going for 30 laps tonight here at Eldora. Cannot wait to get into all of the action. With that said, let's talk to the owner and founder of the Open Wheel Outlaws, Mr. John O'Green. Head up here in the booth. You got me?
Yep, they got me, Eddie.
Go ahead and turn you up so everybody can hear your lovely voice. So, John, you guys are in your third week of your 9-race season. We do have some small car counts, but I've seen some real heavy hitters in the group here. What are you expecting tonight for as far as racing?
Well, you know, Matt Grimm, he's always good when it comes to these big tracks, short tracks, whatever kind of tracks. He's a big dirt track guy. I expect to see a battle between Matt Grimm, Andrew Allen, probably even Metcalf. But other than that, I'm just hoping we have some good, clean racing. I have faith in every single one of these guys who's in here that they are capable of doing that. And I hope in the future we can grow and grow together.
Well, hopefully we can start getting some more cars out here for you guys. I already know that the competition is stiff, seeing high I-rating guys out here. So I don't know how many more we want to pull out here. Man, you guys are going to have some huge fields here eventually. We have a couple sponsors here. Do you want to give them a quick little shout out?
Yes, absolutely. First and foremost, we got J1 Designs, your one-stop paint shop for all your graphic design needs. We're a little local business out of Bosque Farms, New Mexico, and we just pride ourselves in good customer service. And then we got O'Brien Mechanical Repair. We can work on anything that has wheels or a motor. And then first...
So if I bring a homebrew car to you, like, let's talk like some golf cart that I just slapped a 350. You guys will work on it?
Hell yeah. If it's got wheels, motor, if it runs, I'll work on it.
You know, I think I'd be more impressed with getting the golf cart to the shop rather than having it worked on.
Well, we do have a flatbed trailer.
Well, there you go, guys. They do everything there. It's definitely great to be out here with the Open Wheel Outlaws tonight, man. We got 30 laps of great action. Wishing you the best. And can't wait to talk to you here at the end of the night.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you, Eddie, again for coming to put on an amazing broadcast. We'll talk to you all later.
All right, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, guys, you heard it right there. Small group of guys. These guys are going to be duking it out tonight at the one of the world's famous, like most famous dirt tracks in Eldora. You know, they have some of the biggest money races ever put on for sprint cars, late models, pretty much anything you want to see on dirt and go sideways, Eldora will run it. It's one of my favorite tracks. One of the tracks I actually got my first dirt win on the iRacing service. So it's always interesting to come here and see how these guys that actually know what they're doing on dirt can pull off. So currently, guys, for practice. We are showing 7 cars in the field. Fast time right now is Mr. Sean Stevens. Looks like he's from the UK. Nope, I'm sorry, Australia, I believe. Sean, you'll have to comment and let me know if it's UK or Australian, man. That way we'll get it right for you. But he's coming in with a 1281. This is an almost half a mile track. And these guys are getting around here in less than 13 seconds in these sprint cars. They are flying. As you guys can see, it is Roseburg, I believe Ohio. So Sean Stevens at a 1281, Matt Grimm at a 1298, then Andrew Thornton, owner of the B-Main Bandits. Great to see him out here running a 1311. And then things get tight from there with Stephen Metcalf at a 1314, Andrew Allen at a 1315, and LJ Moore at a 1324. These guys are definitely close in practice. Gonna see who can deal with these slicked off conditions. But with only now 8 cars in the session, I don't know exactly how slick Eldora is gonna get for these guys. I don't know if the session has updated track states as we go, or if it just carries over. But with this being an open set, how these guys can transition from practice into qualifying, into the heat races, and then into the main event, and how they can tweak those cars and get every last hundredth of speed out of them. It's going to be very, very interesting to watch. And just like that, guys, we are in qualifying. Let's go ahead and jump to our national anthem as we watch these guys hop out there for qualifying. After our national anthem, guys, I do want to give a shout out to all of our veterans out there, all of our current service members, and everyone that fights for this country. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be here with Warlord Gaming, bringing you guys some great dirt action. We will always be thankful for any of our members, any of our service members that have gone and done everything for our country. Not a problem, Metclap. Hey, thanks for the follow, buddy. Good luck out there tonight. Well, guys, we do have roughly 3 minutes left of qualifying. Looks like almost everybody has put down a qualifying time. We're just waiting on 2 guys, Mr. John O'Brien and LJ Moore. As we sit currently, it is Mr. Sean Stevens up with a 13-13. He is currently on the pole with Diego Alvarado. Didn't see much from him in practice, but he comes out here with a 13-28. Good enough for P2. Third is your points leader, Matt Grimm, in the 91 car with a 13:33. So far, his time keeps him up on the podium. See if he can keep it up there, because he has Mr. Andrew Thornton right behind him with a 13:39. And then Andrew Allen coming in 5th in qualifying with a 13:44. Stephen Metcalf will be your number 6 position with a 13:55. And LJ Moore rounds out the field of 7 with 13:77 up on the board. Looks like John O'Brien may not be racing. I do see him over in the race control booth. So always great to have a live race control for these guys. While we wait for... Well, they're gridding for heat races, boys. Let's get right into the broadcast and see what these guys can do. 8-lap heat race. On the pole will be Mr. Sean Stevens with Diego Alvarado on his outside. Then you will have Matt Grimm, P3, with Andrew Thornton in P4. Andrew Allen will be inside row number 3 with Stephen Metcalf to his outside in P6, row number 3. LJ Moore will round out the field in P number 7. We get ready to roll off here. Sean Stevens is raring to go. Buddy, you got to wait for that pace truck to get going. We're going to have 8 laps of very hard racing here in these sprint cars before we jump into 30-lap feature. Metcalf, unfortunately, I'm not seeing anybody besides Andrew Thornton. That has anything. Oh, right there. Andrew Allen out of Dover, Pennsylvania. Dover, PA, boys. So lights on the pace truck do come off. We will be going green this time round. Looks like Andrew Allen will be leading them to the green flag here. I believe Sean Stevens did go to the back, or we may have had an invert. And we are green here at Eldora. Sean Stevens, or Andrew Allen, will lead them into turn 1. Rocking that high line. The best thing about Eldora is there is multiple grooves here. Diego Alvarado looking to his inside and completes the pass going into 1. Are we going to have any movement here? Diego starts to pull away, rocking that high side. Sean Stevens has blown to the back of the pack, working his way up. He's working that bottom, almost touching that inside wall. He's getting down to Diego's inside. Slide job on Allen will be good for number 2. Andrew Thornton is currently sitting 4th. That is where he started. Your biggest mover, correction, with the invert, he wasn't the biggest mover, but Andrew Allen is sitting P3. You have Stevens and Alvarado fighting it out for P1 with 4 laps to go, 3 to go at the line. They are side by side. Stevens working that bottom, gaining any bit of grip he can, but Alvarado just gains that momentum. A little bit of a slide job, gets up in front of Diego. Diego crosses him over into 1 and 2. 2 to go. These guys are slinging these sliders at each other. Who's gonna be at the line? White flag. Give it to Stevens. Side by side into 3 and 4. Stevens on the bottom. Can Diego get up there? No, he can't. Stevens will be your heat race number 1 winner tonight with Alvarado P2. Allen drops from 1 to 3. Matt Grimm gets up into 4th. And then Andrew Thornton right behind him. Looks like we will have a little bit of a warm-up here, guys. Admins may advance this, but we will see here momentarily, and we'll be back to jump into the 30-lap feature. Alright guys, and we just heard from Race Control himself. There will be 5 minutes of warm-up. That way these guys can tune their setup and get ready for this 30-lap feature here at Eldora. So we will be back here in a couple minutes to get this show a rock. As everyone gets warmed up and ready for this feature tonight, go over a quick little recap of the first couple weeks of the season. So as stated earlier, during week 1, Matt Grimm was your leader, your winner at Lanier. Looks like John Helms and Logan Hoskins, neither of them in the field tonight. They were your P2 and P3 respectively. They did go off to Cedar Lake for 30 laps of action, and Johnny Anderson was the winner there. Currently not in the field, unfortunately. And your podium was Gunnar Harris and Sean Stevens. The only one of those 3 is Mr. Sean Stevens. You've seen him riding that wall up there. Sir, I don't believe the watermelon crawl will work at Eldora. You can definitely try it. But through the first two weeks, Matt Grimm is your points leader. He has a 75-point lead, and he's one of only 2 drivers that have actually put up points in both leagues. Unfortunately, did miss the podium at Cedar Lake. He has that 75-point lead, but second and third, they get a little bit closer with Johnny Anderson and Gunnar Harris, who both placed on the podium for Cedar Lake, only 10 points apart with those 2. And then 4th is John Helms, who is not in the field again, sitting in 4th when he took 2nd here, but did miss Cedar Lake. Big point shakeup. The only one that can really extend his lead is Matt Grimm. And possibly Sean Stevens can try to close the gap just a little bit with a win here tonight. Sean has been fast all night, so it's going to be interesting to see if Matt and Sean are going to just duke this out here in the field. Now, we are here for 30 laps of action tonight at Eldora, but next week we will be heading to Lucas Oil with the 360 sprint cars, and it's going to be a amazing time. All right, guys, as we get into the feature, Sean Stevens will be on the pole with Diego Alvarado to his outside. Andrew Allen will come in P3 with Matt Grimm outside P4 on row number 2. Andrew Thornton comes in inside row of number 3 with Stephen Metcalf to his outside in row number 3, P number 6, guys. Rounding out the field is LJ Moore in P7. Definitely going to be great to see if he can hop up there and try to get a podium finish from the back. These guys will get lined up, get a couple pace laps under their belts before they fire. Gives them plenty of time to strap down the belts and get ready for a great night of action at one of the greatest dirt tracks in the world. Everything we have heard through now into their 3rd week, everybody is quite clean with these guys. They are open wheel cars, so contact is typically frowned upon. There is some guys that are able to get away with it, but these cars are pretty fragile. We'll see if they can go green to checkered here tonight. Pace lights on the pace truck are off. Sean Stevens will lead them to green here at Eldora. Yeah, hear the fireworks. It's hard not to get excited to watch these guys go around this amazing dirt track. See Sean Stevens still working the bottom. Diego and most of the field trying to lift that high side. As Matt Grimm looks to the inside of Diego, they will be side by side going down into 3 and 4. The Grimm will drop back as they single file out. Everybody, oh, we do have an issue. That is the problem with trying to run that high side at Eldora. You make one little mistake, just like Diego did, and it hurts your car, and you just lose so much momentum. Diego does drop back to P7. It's like his car is hurt, trying to get back down onto pit road. Unfortunate for Diego, who started on the outside pole. Hopefully he can get some repairs on the car and get back out here. Sean Stevens has worked out to almost a 1 second gap currently, with Matt Grimm trying to close the gap on him. Andrew Thornton has worked his way up into P3. Stephen Metcalf in 4th with LJ Moore, number 5. Looks like Andrew Allen might have had an issue. Looks like he may have DC'd from the session. Sean Stevens continues to open that gap with Matt Grimm. Definitely not what he wants to see, but hopefully once this track starts to slick off a little bit more, the setup comes in, he can close that gap and try to get up there. But he is in a podium spot, definitely where you want the leader to be. Andrew Thornton is currently 2 seconds behind Matt Grimm. Working that high side, definitely not where he wants to be. As you see Stephen Metcalf trying to throw a massive slider there. Starting to gain momentum. Looks like he may have found something. as we have a battle for the last podium spot between the 70 and the 31. LJ Moore has worked his way up 2 spots. His pace, the only thing he's got to worry about is Sean Stevens going to catch him? Typically, there is no waiver rounds in dirt, so I don't see this being the case anywhere else here. You do have Metcalf getting into that wall, riding that fine line, and just found the edge a little bit too much. Trying different lines, trying to do anything he can to catch Andrew Thornton. We go back up to our leaders. Matt Grimm has lowered the gap to 0.3 of a second. 25 laps to go, 24 at the line. And we got a battle for the podium, or the winner circle spot, guys. I'm so excited I can't talk tonight. So far, Sean has kept it right up against that cushion. He's able to keep Matt Grimm at bay. But even Sean trying to find other lines just to find any grip and any speed. Last lap, Matt Grimm was faster than Stevens. We'll see if that trend keeps going. Andrew Thornton now has dropped back 3.5 seconds behind Grimm. So unless something major happens or Andrew finds the nitrous bottle hidden in his driver's suit, he probably will not be able to get up there. Stephen Metcalf, after that heartbreaking touch with the wall, he's currently a second and a half behind Andrew, trying to do anything he can. Working that bottom, working the top, trying to do a slider line, trying to find any sort of speed. As Andrew Allen has left, and it looks like Diego Alvarado has left as well. Unfortunate to see 2 cars drop tonight. The remaining 5 are putting on a great show and a great just masterclass on Eldora. Seeing the different lines from so many different guys, everyone trying to find speed, trying to see where they can gain any sort of lap time. That last lap, it's working for Stevens. He's found something with a 13.50 for Sean Stevens and a 13.64 for Matt Grimm. As they start trading back and forth, that time around Grimm was faster, but the lead has gone back out to almost 0.8 of a second. Apologize here, guys. The lap counter is not, or the lap counter is correct. SDK is not showing the position. What we'll do is we will swap up the view here a little bit and call it a day with the ticker. So you guys can see the intervals here. Currently 0.8 of a second for Grimm behind Stevens, with Thornton now 6.5 seconds behind him. Definitely not what you want to see out of Andrew Thornton tonight, but I guess that's what you get for being a fixed setup warrior. As Stevens is working his way around LJ Moore. Moore trying to fight, but he has to just give it up to Stevens, working that bottom. As Stevens has an issue and goes into the pits. Oh, I apologize, guys. The race is over. The overlays were not working, but the race is over. Mr. Sean Stevens is your winner with Matt Grimm P2 and Andrew Thornton P number 3. Stephen Metcalf and LJ Moore will round out 5 finishers tonight. And what a great action this race was. Let's see if we have any of these guys down here for an interview. I do see our 3rd place finisher, Mr. Andrew Thornton. It's Ed up in the booth. You got me?
I got you, buddy.
You know, I was worried about you tonight because we said it during the broadcast, you're just a fixed setup warrior, man. How's it feel coming out here and running with the open set boys?
I don't think it's so much the setups, just more of a, I don't know if I remember how to party with the top on.
Hey, Sean Stevens, thanks for the follow, buddy.
But, yeah, man, I hate it for John to have low car count tonight, but good caliber of drivers here. John's one of the regulars in my Tuesday night league, and more than happy to come and support his venture. Hopefully, having you on board, we'll see some more cars come out, and I won't have to do too many of these interviews because there's a lot of people better than me with the wings on them.
Well, it is weird seeing you with the wing on, but hey, man, you came home in your debut with the Open Wheel Outlaws P3. Definitely a great run for you here tonight, man. Great run. You have a wonderful night.
All right, you too, bub.
All right, guys, and with that, we do have our 2nd place finisher, Mr. Matt Grimm. It's Ed up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, sir.
Well, Matt, definitely not what you wanted tonight. I know you definitely wanted to extend that points lead a little bit more with another win, but hey, P2 is pretty damn close.
Yeah, I can't be upset with P2 very much, but just needed a little bit more there in the feature. Maybe if it slicked off a little more, we'd have had something, but it was just kind of stuck trying things and trying to find something that worked and never did.
Well, it was exciting to watch you, try a different line, and you were gaining on him, on Sean Stevens for quite a while there. So it was amazing to see you come up there and try to battle, but the open setups, is that possibly what happened here? Is Sean just had a better, heavier track state setup?
He was talking. He made a couple of adjustments there for the feature. I tightened it up a little bit, but that was about all I did. But Sean's a good driver, and he's hard to beat. Fixed, open, doesn't matter.
Well, you will extend your points lead a little bit here. I believe Sean might gain on you some, but over the rest of the field, you do have it. So great run here tonight, man. P2. We'll see you next week at Lucas Oil.
Sounds good. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, not a problem, man. And with that, guys, we do have one last person. He's sitting up on the winner's circle stand. It is Mr. Sean Stevens. This is Ed up in the booth. You got me?
You do, mate. How are you?
Good. So, okay, first question. Australian or UK?
I'm Australian, but I live in Tasmania, so it's like an island off Australia.
Well, you're the first Tasmanian I've ever talked to, and I love it, man. I'm horrible with flags. I saw the flag on my SDK, and I couldn't tell if it was UK or Australia, but hey, I had to ask.
Yeah. Nah, Tassie, from Tassie, mate. You probably heard of the Tassie Devil.
Yes, I have.
Yes. So, yeah, that's the place where I'm from.
Well, I do know one thing. You guys down under love your dirt racing, and a lot of you are pretty damn good at it, and you just proved that again, man. A dominant win tonight. You came from the back in the heat race. Was that an invert, or was that by choice?
That was by choice. I did ask for an EOL in the feature as well, but they wouldn't give it to me because they thought if I'd won the race, well, then I'd get the hard charger points as well. So they wouldn't let me. But yeah, well, would have been better if we had more drivers involved tonight. But I guess everyone's a little busy tonight. But it is what it is. Still made it fun and enjoyable, and me and Matt really had a good race. So yeah.
So Matt was talking. He was hoping the track was going to slick off a little bit more. With this being open setup, did you just throw a little bit heavier track state setup in it, and that's the key to your dominance here tonight?
Well, I had my qualifying set up in, and I felt like that was fast. And with only 7 drivers, you don't really turn the track up that much, and it doesn't really slick off as much. So there still is a bit of loose marble up on the fence. So I hired my gear ratio in the sprint car. I had a 522 in, but then I switched. I had a 511 in for the feature, but then I swapped it to a 522. So it was a little bit more revs, and that's why I was hitting the slider lines, and that's why I was trying to do the cut downs and staying around the bottom, because I knew if I stayed up on the fence with that gear ratio in, I knew Matt would reel me in pretty quick. So I had to just switch up my lines a little bit. I didn't realise that the track actually slickened off more than I thought it would during the race. So Matt was actually gaining me, and but well, it all ended well. I just knew I had to keep it low and keep them straight lines happening so I could get a fast run with the gear ratio I had in. So
Yeah, dude, you did amazing. It was fun watching the masterclass that you and Matt were putting on. You guys definitely know this track, and watching you guys search for speed everywhere, it was amazing to watch. It was a great run by you. Sean, do you have anybody you want to thank out there?
Thanks to the fellas that chucked this league on, and all the guys that showed up today. I know there weren't many people here today, but come back next week and we'll try and get some more guys up in here. I think round 1 they had a fair few drivers in, so it was a bit weird that they didn't show up tonight. But glad to snatch up round 2, and looking to get some more podiums in the season.
We will definitely be here watching you on Warlord Gaming, man. We'll see you next week, and great run once again.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. You have a wonderful night, man. All right, guys. That was it. We had a little bit of issues here with the SDK overlay. I do apologize for that. Apologize to the Open Wheel Outlaws and everybody watching. Caused me to lose track of the race, really. We were so excited watching these guys duke it out. The lap counter just kept going down in my head, but wasn't going down on the screen. That will be fixed for next week. Apologies to the Open Wheel Outlaws once again. What a great race. Green to checkered. Had a couple issues with guys, tapping that wall. Always a problem at Eldora. I know at least it is for me. Or, if you're Doug Burns, he hits the pit wall. But with that said, guys, we'll be back next week, next Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern for Lucas Oil with the 360s. If you guys are interested in coming out, please, please, please join the Discord. Come on out here, run with these guys. If open setups are an issue, there's plenty of free setup shops out there. I'm sure any of these guys would more than willingly come out here and help you guys test. Just come on out and have a good time with these guys. Till then, we'll see you next week. Keep on sending it in.